Thanks for joining this course that is on SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement. I will be demonstrating configuration and end user processes related to this course. SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement is one of the business applications developed for the SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. The other business applications of SAP S/4HANA Business Suite besides SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement are SAP S/4HANA Finance, SAP S/4HANA Sales, Marketing, Supply Chain, Asset Management, Manufacturing, Service, Human Resources, and Research and Development. In the versions before SAP S/4HANA, this application or module is known as SAP MM or Materials Management if you are aware of SAP MM previously. This module works for procurement to payment, or in other words, P2P process cycle in an organization. Before I go further and give you an information on what is SAP S/4HANA Business Suite and what is SAP S/4HANA Sourcing and Procurement module, I will give you a brief introduction to the procurement to payment process cycle on SAP system, just as an overview that what we want to achieve in this course after the configuration, so that it will be easier for you that what we configure, you know the purpose of that configuration. So I am on SAP Easy Access screen and we have got a menu path here, SAP menu. So first I will go under the node logistics and then go under the subnode materials management, purchasing, and then purchase order, create, and we have got a transaction code ME21N to create a purchase order. So double click on it and you will be landed on the screen. So the first thing we have to do is to create vendor master. I will also explain you what is NB, or in other words, order type or document type. So how we can create vendor master, business partner master data, that's what we will see in this course. So I have already created a vendor master, which I will select now and show you an overview of how we can create purchase order. So company code, that's what we have to do in this course to create a company code as well, and how we can do that we will see that later on. So as an overview that what we want to achieve in this course, I have already created a company code just to show you how we can create purchase order, and then we will create our own company code, our own vendor master to do this. So I will select 10029. That's a vendor master. Now the second thing is, as you can see here, header. So every SAP document contains two main sections, header and item. So whatever the information is at header level is applicable to all the items at item level, but the information that is at item line level is only applicable to that particular line item. So you can expand the header and see if there is any information which you have to provide in order to proceed further. So as you can see here, the system is asking you to enter purchasing organization. So what is purchasing organization? How we can create that? That's what we will also see in this course. What is purchasing group and how we can create it? That's what we will also see. So as a demonstration of the overview or what we will achieve in the end of this course, so I'm just showing you how to create purchase order and TST1 is my purchasing organization. The next step is material master. So what type of materials are there? For example, raw material, semi-finished material, finished material, trading goods. So how we can create material master? So I will show you in this course. So let me select a material master 625. 625 basically is a trading good. What is trading good? I will explain you in the later lecture. So I'm gonna purchase 5 quantity of trading goods from the vendor 10029. Enter and see if there is any other essential information which we have to provide. Right, so it is giving us warning, can delivery date be met? Okay, so this is just a warning, not an error. Okay, further you will see that you have net price automatically pops up. So how the net price is being determined by the system, that's what we will see in this course. And what is material group. And further, if you go right, so you can see the plant, we have to create our own plant, and you can optionally enter storage location at purchase order level. What is batch, we will see in this course. And further, if you go right, you can see the info record. So how this purchasing info record is created and which information is copied to the purchase order through the info record, and how it is beneficial to for our purchase order or any other record we create if we enter the information in the purchasing info record. So this is the information at header level of the purchase order. So as you can see, organization data, delivery or invoice. Delivery and invoice, it contains the payment terms information. Where we enter this information, I will show you. And conditions, what is condition? That's what I will demonstrate you in this course. And text, address, communication. So as you can see, the address has been copied from the vendor. Partners, and we have to configure the partners in SAP system. Additional data, organization data, status, Incoterms. Right, so now I will go to item detail of the purchase order. So the first tab, as you can see here, invoice, it defaults invoice receipt, goods receipt based invoice, and ERS. How we can default these settings, I will show you. And text code, you can see, is automatically determined. So as I mentioned to you, purchasing info record, so all such information are copied from purchasing info record. So you can go to material data to see further information, quantities or weight, delivery schedule, right? So the delivery date is 27th of October, and the system is asking you if the delivery date can be met or not. You can change the date if you want. And we have got delivery tab, conditions, where you can see the different condition types like gross price, non-deductible tax, cash discount. So you can enter further information related to freight charges, but you need to know which condition type is relevant to freight charge. Then you can see the texts, delivery address, and confirmations, condition control, retail. So all such tabs are relevant to different business scenarios. Once you're happy by entering all such information, you can click this button, check to see if there is any error to create this purchase order. If you see this message, so it means there is no issue in this purchase order. Further, if you want to see the print preview of this purchase order, you can click this button, print preview, and we'll see that how this purchase order will be sent to the supplier. Now go back and click this button, save, and this will create the purchase order. So we have successfully created the purchase order number. How this number is determined, I will also demonstrate you in this course. Now after creating the purchase order, we have to receive the goods from the supplier. So how we can update the system that the items or goods have been received by our warehouse or storage location. So in order to do that, I am under the same node, materials management, and under that, if you go the node inventory management, expand this and then go under goods management, and you have a transaction code MIGO, goods movement. This transaction code is more often used by every company who works on SAP MM or sourcing and procurement module. So if you double click on it, you will be landed on this screen. Now the first thing you have to do is to choose goods receipt, and you have to create goods receipt against the purchase order, and here you have to enter the purchase order number which you created in the last step. Okay, and then click this button, execute. Now before I execute, as you can see here, this number 101, this is called movement type. What is movement type? I will show you its configuration and definition in one of the upcoming lectures. This is very important because movement type determines the movement of the item, where the stock is moving to, right? So click this button, execute. And all the information from the purchase order will be popped up on the goods receipt screen. As you can see here, quantity 5 has been copied, and you can also see the profit center. Now what is profit center and how it is determined, I will show you later on in this course. And further, you can see all the information that has been copied. Now the next thing you have to check is the storage location, because this time you have to enter the storage location. We haven't entered the storage location at purchase order level because that was optional, but in goods receipt screen, the storage location is very important to enter, so that we have to determine where the goods are moving to or in which storage location it is being stored. So I have got a movement storage location as T1. Press enter, and you can see here the storage location has been copied. What is stock type? Unrestricted use. We have different stock types. What are they? What are their purpose? We will see in this course, right? And you can further see all the tabs if there is any information that is required. Once you are happy with all the information, you have to mark the checkbox item OK, and then click this button, check. It is exactly the same as I showed you. There was a check button in the purchase order level. If you have this warning message, you can press enter to continue, right? And then click post. I will explain you what is the warning message and why it has come up, right? If you click check, so this says enter delivery note for evaluated receipt settlement. I will show you in the course what is evaluated receipt and how we can settle that. Press enter to continue and then click post. And you can see here the material document has been created and posted. So you can note down its number, or you can also display this material document number by click on it and click display. And the system will automatically pick up the last material document. Click execute. And all the information will pop up. So how this material document is created, how this number is picked up, we will see in the course. And finally, you can see that you have a new tab called document info. If you click on it, so you have a button called FI documents. So let me tell you that when you create a purchase order, there is no accounting document generated. But when you create a goods receipt, accounting document is also created with the material document. So if you click this button and see which accounting documents have been created. So as you can see here, accounting document and material ledger documents have been created. What is material ledger and how this document is created, we will see in the course. So if you double click on the accounting document to see which GL accounts have been updated by creating this goods receipt. So as you can see here that a GL account number 310,000 has been updated, which actually is a trading goods account with the 5,000 amount. And then as you can see here, goods receipt account 191100 is being credited. So goods receipt account is being credited and trading goods account have been debited because trading goods account represent the storage. So trading goods have been updated because the 5 quantities are coming into your stock. So that's why this account is updated, and goods receipt invoice receipt account is credited at goods receipt level. And further you can see profit center. What is profit center? This is related to FI module, but we will see its configuration as well in the course. Now the other thing which you need to know is general ledger view and data entry view. If you click this button, so you can see here it says ledger 0L and fiscal year 2021 and period 10. Now we have to do the configuration for ledger, fiscal year, and determine the period. So this is related to SAP FI module, but in order to do practice, as you have to do after this course, we need to know how we can do the configuration for ledger, fiscal year, and period. And this I will show you in this course as well. Now go back, cancel this, and then come out of the screen. And the final part you need to know in P2P cycle is to create invoice receipt. So after goods receipt, the third step is the invoice receipt. So we have a node called logistics invoice verification. So why is it called verification? Because we have to verify the amount and quantity which the supplier is charging to us. So we have to check the quantity in our goods receipt that either we have received exactly the same quantity what supplier has mentioned into the invoice, and the amount what is in purchase order is exactly the same invoice amount into supplier invoice. So in order to do that, we create logistics invoice verification. So click document entry and you have a transaction code MIRO. Double click on that. Now the first step is to enter the company code. Our company code is ESP1. Click this button and you can see that all the information related to the company code has popped up, such as period and the company code information. Now enter the invoice date as of 26th October 2021. Enter the reference. You can enter any reference. Let's enter invoice 01. Yes, we are going to calculate tax because a vendor invoice will include the tax. Further, you can enter the text as well if you want, but this is optional. In some companies it can be required, so you have to enter any text that actually can identify the vendor invoice. Okay, so you have 3 tabs, as you can see here: PM reference, GL account, and PO reference. So we have to create this incoming invoice or supplier invoice with PO reference. And our PO number is 45,000,1060. That's the one, yeah. So layout, you need to know what is layout and how you can change it. So that's what I will explain you in one of the upcoming lectures. So at this time, I will show you how we can create vendor invoice by using the reference, PO reference number, right? So as you can see here, the line item from purchase order has been copied, and you can see the quantity and you can also see the amount. If there is any discrepancy in amount or quantity, go back, so you can change it, right? So if you can see the amount is incorrect or the supplier is charging you more, so you can actually talk to the supplier and ask him why he's charging more as against the purchase order, and you can also check the quantity, right? And the final thing you have to check is the tax code. So what is the configuration behind tax code? That's what we will see as well, because we have to configure the FI module little bit in order to work on SAP MM module, especially when you do practice, because in real environment of working, you don't need to do that, because that is the part of SAP FI consultant. But for practice purposes and for the demonstration of this course, I have to do the configuration related to SAP FI module, which is actually good for you to learn extra besides SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement module, right? So as you can see here, the balance says incorrect because the balance is not 0, and in order to make it 0, you can enter here 6,000, because as you can see here, 5,000 is the amount and 20% VAT is 1,000. So you have to enter here 6,000 and make sure that it is balanced. Okay, so if you see the tax amount, this is 60,000. Right, so if you see £20 difference, possibly it is due to the payment terms option. So what is payment terms? I will show you its configuration as well, but I will just change the payment terms here, right? Okay, and now you can see that it is balanced. So sometimes it is a technical problem in the payment terms that it does not let the balance equal because of its own configuration. So what is the configuration in payment terms? That's what I will explain you in the upcoming lectures. After that, you can click simulate. Simulate actually means exactly the same as you check the purchase order for any mistake or goods receipt for any mistake. So simulate functions the same. You can click on it, or in other words, it will just show you the overview how the document is posted. As you can see here that the supplier is credited and our GRIR account is being debited and input tax is being debited as well. So why the supplier is credited? Because the supplier is providing us the goods. So when we make payment to the supplier, then the supplier will be debited and our bank account will be credited. So that's the final part when the SAP FI team will make payment to the supplier for providing these trading goods. So once you're happy with this information, you can click post to create the supplier invoice. And you can see here that this document number has been created, which is actually the logistics invoice document number. This is blocked for payment. We can go to invoice and click display. And when the company wants to make payment, so they can actually unblock this invoice. So if you go to the payment tab, so you can see here payment block, invoice verification, and you can choose free for payment when you have to unblock it. Now the next thing is, because this is the logistics invoice document, you have to click this button, follow on documents. Now in follow on documents, this document is the accounting document in FI module, right? And here you can see here the material supplier is being credited, input tax and GRIR clearing external procurement account is being debited, right? And how these GL accounts determined, where is the integration of GL accounts in between SAP S4HANA MM or sourcing and procurement module and SAP FI module. We will also see this in the course. Now this is the overview of the course, what we want to achieve. There will be other information that is related to SAP S4HANA procurement, SAP S4HANA sourcing and procurement module. So this is just to show you the overview of P2P cycle and do the configuration, and there will be some end user activities in the course as well. So you can go through the training contents, what you will be learning in the course.